And then here's Ward Conway's piece of wood, which came all the way down in the back of the car. And we're now going to discuss this piece of wood for Ward and Larry to learn from. So Gary, why don't you just hold forth?
Okay. Now this is a very nice piece of quarter sawn wood. As you can see, it has already developed some stress cracks because the end grain needs to be sealed right after it's cut. Otherwise the water escapes very quickly from the end grain and causes these stress cracks to occur, which makes the piece of wood unusable for violin making.
So Gary, could you outline where in this piece of wood you would use? Here's my pencil just for you to use as a pointer.
You find the center of the tree and you'd cut it just like a big pizza pie, you know, like this. So if I had a wedge like that, then I could take it once it was dry and then split it right down the middle, and I have two pieces of wood that I would then join and use to make a violin top. Okay, here's an example of a piece of wood that is similar to what I'm looking for.
So now what kind of wood is this?
This is Engelmann spruce.
Okay.
It's very old piece of wood. It's 60 years old, dead on the stump. It grew up in the 10,000 foot range in the Colorado Rockies. And very lightweight wood. The specific gravity of this wood is about 0.34, which is ideal for violin making. So,
okay, now could you show us the end grain on that?
Yeah, if you can see it.
So you were saying this is called a billet, is that right?
Yes, or a bolt. They'll call these billets or bolts.
So let's see if we can see the grains on this.
Very, very difficult. It's dirty. But this, see, this guy put paraffin on it. You can feel it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can feel it.
So was the paraffin put on before it was cut into a billet, or was it?
It was put on after he cut it up.
Oh, look, you can see the grains coming out now. I'm going to... I see. So what's the... Oh, I see. This has many more grains per inch than the piece of spruce that came from up on Ward. Let's just put the two of them in the field of view together so that we can compare them. So I'll try to come closer, hoping that it focuses.
I'll try to hold it steady.
And I'll come away just in case the focus wasn't so good. Okay. So we have two coarse-grained wood for violin making, but would our wood be good for bass making?
If it would be, this would be ideal size for bass. Except you need a piece of wood whose face is at least 13 inches long. Because the widest part of a like a 3/4 bass is 26 inches. So 14 inches would be ideal. 14-inch piece of clear wood. In other words, 14 inches from this edge to this edge, which means the diameter of the tree would have been 28 inches.
Right.
Minimum.
Right.
More like 30 inches. For violin, the grain, generally, you don't want it to be any more than 10 grain lines per inch.
I see.
Anything less, I should say. It should be at least 10 or more.
Okay. So then let me just go doing one more to show Ward how this is already cracked. And it's just been inside your shop now for a couple of weeks.
It's only been in my shop for the last 12 hours.
For the last 12 hours, wow.
That's when John showed up last night about 11.
I see. Oh, okay.
So it's been in John's house.
Did you notice, John, if it cracked prior to your bringing it here?
Yeah, I think there's more cracks in it than when you gave it to me.
I see. Okay.
I could be wrong, but it just seems that one split is wider.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, we know. Yeah. Good. Okay, so then you would need to have finer, but I'm not sure that Northern Ontario spruce will have that, but we'll have a look.
Yeah, if you take a look. If it's that thick, that's really... The reason why it has to be narrower grain is because conventional wisdom says that this wide of a grain on a violin is not going to produce a good tone.
Okay.
Personally, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, but you have to sell your violins.
Right.
Yeah.